Okay, so we are good to go. The video is recording. All right, so I'm going to start with sharing my screen. But again, remember, if there are any questions at any time, please type into the chat option at the bottom and I'll answer those questions. And at any time, I'm happy to stop and answer if there's anything you want to know. And then at the end, we can do like a short Q&A like we did last time. All right, so we're going to start with LinkedIn. I found this great video that I thought is just a short summary of how to generate leads and stuff on LinkedIn. So let's start with it, and then we can kind of dissect and go through everything together.
LinkedIn is one of the most popular social networks out there. If you're in the B2B space, it's actually the best social network out there. Why? Because it can drive a lot of leads. Hey everyone, I'm Neil Patel, and today I'm going to teach you how to drive B2B leads with LinkedIn. So the first thing you need to do is share your existing content on LinkedIn. If you have a blog, share your blog posts. If you also have a lot of old content, take the first few paragraphs of those blog posts, publish it on your LinkedIn profile, and put at the bottom of the first few paragraphs, click to continue reading. That'll drive people from your LinkedIn profile back over to your website. That's the first thing you need to do, because the more traffic you get from LinkedIn back to your website, the more leads you can generate. The second thing that you need to do is completely fill out your LinkedIn profile. So where have you worked, from what do you do? The more specific you can be, the better off you are. If people know what you're doing and they're interested in your products or services, they're gonna hit you up. If you're really vague on your skill set, no one's really gonna contact you to hire you. The third thing you need to do is use LinkedIn InMail. What LinkedIn InMail is, it's a paid feature. It costs roughly $79 a month. It allows you to contact other members on LinkedIn, even ones that you're not connected with. That one simple thing allows you to generate leads. If you look at most B2B companies and their sales team, almost all of them generate the majority of their leads and sales, especially when they're doing outbound sales, through LinkedIn InMail. It's a really good feature for pennies on the dollar. The fourth thing you need to do is get skill endorsements or recommendations. So the more people that recommend you, it shows that other people are vouching for you and you provide a good product or service. Or if you're getting skill endorsements, that means people are going to be like, wow, this guy's a good marketer or a designer or project manager, whatever it may be. The more you have, the more likely you are to get leads from LinkedIn. And fifth, which is last but not least, you should use LinkedIn autofill. Not everyone has this feature available. You can go to LinkedIn and apply for it, and you can email them. What this does is when you have lead forms on your website and you're asking people for their name, email, company address, company size, telephone number, etc., it's a lot of information. No one really wants to fill it in. But if someone's logged into LinkedIn and they're on your website, they can just click a LinkedIn autofill button, which LinkedIn gives you, and it automatically fills all those form fields out for the user. It's a quick way to boost your conversions and get more leads because there's very little friction for someone to then fill out all their information. It's just a click of a button. And that's how you generate more leads through LinkedIn.
Okay, so that was just a short, sweet video, but I think what we can do is go through some of the key takeaways that Neil Patel spoke about. I just want to, sorry, I actually didn't know my video wasn't on. I hope you can all see me now. The general feel with LinkedIn is it is a business to business platform. So you'll see they speak about B2B, that means business to business. And you'll see in the video that Neil also spoke about job finding. So the LinkedIn is more directed for business to business. And for people looking for jobs, trying to endorse skill sets. So when he was saying like, you know, make sure that your skill set is up to date, that's to be more attractive for people that are searching for jobs. But it doesn't necessarily mean that we can't use LinkedIn for near-life purposes. So we are more B2C. We are a business that is looking to get customers to join our business. They refer to B2B, but there's definitely elements we can use. So as he mentioned in the video, I'm just going to share my screen again.
LinkedIn is
sorry, let me just go
the most popular social networks out there. If you're
All right. So I've kind of tailored it down to 10 ways that we can generate more leads and referrals on LinkedIn. So like Neil spoke about, I think the first thing to do is to look at your profile. Before you start adding connections or searching for people, you want to make sure that your profile is up to date, tells who you are, has your replicated site. So remember last week we spoke a lot about having your replicated site on all your social media platforms. So if you're going to choose LinkedIn to sell your near life business, you need to have your replicated website in your profile. So I'll show you where to get the link in case anyone wasn't on the call last week, and how to put that into your profile. But what they actually suggest here, which I found quite interesting because we did touch on this last week, is they say to prepare a digital video, 30-second almost commercial about your business. So remember last week, for those that were on the call, we looked at a case study of Melissa Butler, who kind of does videos of herself. So I think that would be a great way to do a 30-second commercial. So you can speak about yourself, how you came into near life, how it's changed your life. Or if you're feeling on the shy side and you don't want to use your own video, you can use one of the near life approved videos. So the new one that we came out, the opportunity video that was out a few weeks ago, I can show you where to get that as well if people aren't sure. So you can either do your own video or you can use a near life content video. So it says here, your 30-second commercial is the answer to that question, as told from the point of view of a prospect in pain that eventually turned into a happy customer. So what we would do is, what brought you to near life? What made you join? If you were suspect in the beginning, how it's changed your life, how you do the business day to day, if you do it part-time, if you do it full-time. So just a 30-second insight into your life. So they say, this, for instance, we specialize in custom design, inventory management, blah, blah, blah. So this is very business focused, but we're going to adapt this to use for near life. So they're saying, if this isn't on your LinkedIn profile, you're at a competitive disadvantage already. So once you've looked at your profile, in the video, Nia Patel also spoke about your endorsements and checking your skills and all of those kinds of things. Those are all things you can add yourself. On a side note, sorry, for those that don't even have a LinkedIn account, LinkedIn is completely free. You can just Google LinkedIn and you can create a profile yourself. We'll look at profiles. You can add header images. You can add a picture of yourself. It's completely up to you. But again, it's free, like Facebook and Instagram, until you start doing paid ads. But the normal stuff that we're going to go through here is all free. So once you've worked on your profile and you've looked at adding a video or near life video, they also spoke about if you have a blog or you have a website that you use to connect the two and to add content all the time. So remember last week I showed you how to share images that we are sharing on our Facebook pages. You can do the same thing on LinkedIn. So if we share a good story, a testimony from someone who's joined the business or that's recently stepped up, or one of our sportsmen ambassadors that we sponsor, you can take that picture and the same copy or content and share that on LinkedIn. He also speaks, Neil Patel, about using the content on different platforms. Some people might only be on Facebook, others might only be on LinkedIn. So it's good to have the same message across different mediums because we want to try to reach as many people as possible. So once we're confident in our profile, we're happy, it looks great, you think that it tells the story. I'm all about, us being true and authentic. We don't want to attract people and then they see, oh, it's a multi-level marketing or it's near life. I'm all about being honest from the beginning. This is what we do. We're trying to transform people's lives. We're trying to end the trend and let people who really are interested in the business to contact us. We don't want to tell a whole story, then you waste your time phoning them that it's not of interest at all. They're not interested in even being a retail customer. So I would be as authentic as possible from the beginning. Then once you're happy with your profile, the next step is to add connections to your network. So I'm going to show you how to do this because I think there's a better way of just clicking connect with everyone. So what I will do, let me stop sharing, and I'm going to share my screen on my LinkedIn. Let me just open it here. Okay, so once you feel you're ready to connect with people on LinkedIn, you see there's a search option at the top here. So I always go back to teachers, and you'll see I actually did a test run here. If your story, if you're a teacher and you join Neolife and you're doing it part-time, and on your profile it's going to relate back to teachers. So remember, even with Facebook, we always say, like, you need to try to be as specific as possible. Yes, Neolife is relevant for everyone, but if we're trying to connect with the whole world, the message is going to be lost. So if you feel in your business you have a lot of teachers or nurses or people that are working in big corporates, in banks, those kinds of things, those are the type of people I would try to connect with that have never heard of us before. So when you click in search here, you can type in, can you see at the top here, it gives you different options. So you can search people, jobs, obviously, which is relevant for us, content, companies, school, groups. So if you know, for example, a lot of your downlines, or you get a lot of interest from a specific company, for example, just say people that work at Eskom are interested in becoming a Neolife distributor. Those are the type of things that you can input into LinkedIn, and it will draw all those people. But for this purpose, I'm just going to do teacher. So you're going to type in the word teacher in the top, and you can click search. Then I just want to make sure that it's people, let me just check here, sorry, that it's people that interest are teacher. So you want to make sure that their job title is, they've input their job title on LinkedIn as teacher. Okay, so that's fine, it's done correctly, because you can see at the bottom here that's saying teacher at schools or teacher at Department of Education. But then you can take this a little bit further, and you can actually, if you click more, so you can add in a specific school if you feel you want to target schools in your area. So if you know that the teachers at Crawford, Santon would be relevant, you can target that specifically, and it will pull up all those people. You can connect with those people. And I'll show you another way. When you connect, you can actually write them a message, and you can say, I used to be a teacher, or at that school, or I'm a teacher, and this, I thought this would be of interest to you. So those, we'll go through that, but I just wanted to check here. So if you type in teacher and you click, let me just click cancel, and you click this thing on the top right that says all filters, it actually lets you target very specifically. So if you only, for me, the geography would be almost more important than the industry that they're in. We want to obviously meet these people or invite them to an opportunity meeting at some point, barring everything happening with COVID. But I think the most important thing is to get to see these people face to face at some point. So what I would do, my advice is to try an industry. So we can say a teacher or a nurse or a banker, something that you think is of interest. And then I would always put the location that's closest to you. So I'm going to click Johannesburg. And then it even gives you like different options here as well if you want to expand your reach. So is it specific to an English teacher, maths teacher, lecturer, professor? So you can tick all of these, you can tick none. Is there job function, education, training, information technology, engineering? So I'm just going to leave it quite broad as to teacher, and I'm going to put it in Johannesburg, and I'm going to say apply. Sorry, this is pulling jobs. I want people. So we just make sure that you have the right segment built. So we want people, obviously it filtered to jobs, and we wanted people in Johannesburg. So I'm going to click apply. So these are what LinkedIn has pulled as teachers in Johannesburg. right? Now, yes, we want to connect with all of them, but at the same time, we don't want it to seem like we're spamming these people. So if there is schools, for example, that are more relevant than others, then I would start with that. Otherwise, I would connect with 5 people a day. You don't want to go down and connect with everyone. Remember, because then it's just going to be you throwing a ball out there and you're just hoping someone catches it. We'd rather work closely with people. And then when you say connect, so if I say connect here, it's going to say, do you want to add a note? So that is when I would tell your personal story of why being a teacher has helped you grow your business and how you think it would be relevant to them. So you don't want to just connect with people or you can say done and not add a note. My advice would be to add a note, why you chose them, why you want to connect with them, how you think this can help them. And then again, I would, even in the note, add your replicated site in case they don't reply to you here, but they want to go onto the website and see what it's about. And if they are interested, they land up signing up under you. So always, always, always to include your replicated site. So again, you can just, before you come onto LinkedIn, you want to think about more or less who you're looking to connect with. We don't want to connect with the whole world. Yes, we do. But at the same time, for this purpose, you want to try and make that connection that the person on the other side feels that, you know, they're going to respond to you, there's a value or something for them. So I think it's important to know who you want to connect with and add that note, but make sure that it links back to your profile. And then what I did is when I actually opened my LinkedIn, I did see that I had like notifications. So I don't know if I mentioned this last week, but for me, I'm happy to connect with anyone on LinkedIn. I use it as a strictly business platform. I don't really post a lot. I'll read some business articles on here. So for me, when I go to my network, I'm happy to connect with anyone because it's a business platform. So I'm not sharing personal information. There's no pictures of my home or my family, anything that's invasive. So I'm happy to connect with strangers on here and see if there's maybe some overlap or some suppliers that are looking to potentially sell me their services. So it depends again. Remember, like we said last week, what you use the platforms for. Facebook, I feel like, is a more personal platform. People share pictures of their children or their grandchildren, whereas LinkedIn is more about articles, about content. You'll see people are writing more business focused. I'm going to just stop sharing before we carry on, and I just want to see, are there any questions so long? Are we good so far? There's a few other people joining, but it's fine. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the...
Yeah, sorry, Bianca.
Yes.
Just a question. If you're going to LinkedIn, you go through the search button and you select the specific area of your interest. For example, if I'm an engineer, I type engineers.
Correct.
And then once I've typed engineer, then I go to the filter. I'm not sure where the filter is. You said the filter.
So that's a great question, Pascal. I'm going to run through it again. So
Okay.
when you get to your LinkedIn, you'll see this is the landing page. Then in the search at the top, so Pascal wants us to search engineer. You just type it in normally and you're going to click enter. Then at the top here, you'll see it gives you all these different options. So firstly, we want to make sure that we're with people, not with jobs. We're not interested in people that are looking for engineer jobs. And then once you've clicked people, so you'll see it's got people there, it can give you locations here. Or if you click this all filters, it gives you the more specific, if you want to do like a specific type of engineer, for example, people that are engineers in mining and metals, or people that have worked at past companies. So you can be very, very specific with all filters, or you can just say to LinkedIn, I want engineers that are based in Johannesburg. So it's click Johannesburg. I'm going to click apply. And then I would just skim over and make sure that it actually is pulling the people that we've told it to pull. So I can see here, all these people are in Johannesburg, which is great. And these people all have the word engineer in their job title. So it has pulled correctly. So again, you just type in the word at the top, you click search. You want to make sure that it's always on people, not on jobs or content or companies. I would just make sure that it's on people. And then you can drill down into the location that you're looking to connect with.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
No problem. Are there any other questions at this point? Okay, so then I'm going to carry on going through this 10 tips. But it was just, I want to show you practically how to do some of these things. So their next step then is to add connections. So that's something that I've already shown you here. And he, again, also speaks about filtering by people. So choose as specifically as you want the people that you want to connect with. Then they do say here, play fair. So you only want to connect with people that are really relevant. And we've already spoken about that. As much as Neo Life is for everyone, when you're spending your time connecting with people, you want to have that, that similarity or something that the reason you chose them. Think about if you're on the recipient side and you have all these people just trying to connect with you, you have nothing in common with them, you're going to lose that interest. So I think playing fair or knowing who to connect with and adding that note. I mean, you can type out a note, save it somewhere and use the same note when you're connecting with all the engineers or all the teachers. You don't need to rewrite it out all the time. Then it says build out your lead list. So spend 5 minutes a day investigating the connections of your contacts to see whom you don't know personally, but whom you'd like to meet. Make a note of those to whom you would like introductions. Start first with recommendations, since those are most likely the strongest relationships. So what they are referring to here, and let me go back to my web, to LinkedIn. If I go home and I click my network, what LinkedIn does is it actually gives you recommendations of people they think you should connect with. So it says here, people you may know in Johannesburg. So for example, I've put as my job title that I'm the marketing director. So it gives me people of the same type of industry interest. So I've never heard of these people, but you can see here, Carmen's in marketing, this guy's in media, this lady's in marketing as well. So it gives you recommendations. So what they say is spend 5 minutes a day. It might be here, what it also says that it tells you how many mutual connections you have. So I have 112 mutual connections with Seppo. I have 292 mutual connections. So that's also something you can use when connecting. You can say, I know you're a colleague or a friend of Pascal. I thought I would reach out to you. So those also can be things you can add into the notes. So spend 5 minutes a day. So this is a different avenue. So the first avenue with finding connections, what we spoke about, is looking at an industry and the location. So you can spend 5 minutes doing that. And again, I wouldn't do more than 10 connections. You don't want to spam everyone. You can do the 10 connections, you add your notes, and then you wait to see who responds. Another option that they give you here is to look at who LinkedIn considers a recommendation for you, either on people you know, so the mutual connections, and with industry. So people that are in the same sort of industry as you, this is who they filtered as people of interest. So again, when you're connecting with them, you want to add the notes. So here it didn't give me the note. Let me withdraw and see. So I'm going to see if I go into his profile. So it gives you, if we say connect, so I think click on their profile, then click connect so you can add the note. I just want to distinguish between a note and a message. A message is what LinkedIn calls an in-mail. So I'll show you in my messaging what an in-mail is. But when you go home, so these are people that have requested to ask to connect with me. they sometimes underneath here, it will say 1 or 2 sentences. That's when they add the note. But an email, if I go into my messaging, an email would be someone sending like a long message like this, but unfortunately emails cost. So I think you get something like 2 free emails a month. If I'll actually check that, but I'm not 100% sure. But usually emails come at a cost, whereas adding a note when you're connecting with someone is free to do. So the second option, which we spoke about, is what we call LinkedIn recommendations. So I'm just going to go back to the PowerPoint. Just let other people join the call. All right, so we've tidied up our personal profile. We've added connections to our network per industry. We know how to play fair. We're not going to add everyone. We're going to build in our lead list as per the recommendations of LinkedIn. And then obviously step number 5 is to follow up with your current clients and prospects. So if someone responds to my advice, and again, it's all tried and tested, you guys can try something else, is to send the message to try connect with someone. I would give it a few days. People, in my opinion, don't check LinkedIn every single day, whereas I feel like Facebook, people are checking that daily. So if you've added someone and you've added a note, I would give it a week before you follow up again, if you do want to follow up again. But also if they're not replying or they're not accepting your connection, I would take that as maybe a sign that it's something that they're not interested in, which is fine. It's a free platform. We're connecting with 10 people and 10 people, that's 20 people. And if we get 3 responses back, I think that's a success. Then their next steps are obviously to keep posting updates on your profile. So if Pascal sends me the request and I've chosen to connect with him, I obviously want to know what he's about, what his business is about. And that's when you go to posting the content onto your profile. So I'm just going to show you an example of how to do that, so everyone can see. So I'm going to keep my LinkedIn open. And I think with this, it's probably best, you can do it on your phone. There's the LinkedIn app, which works exactly the same. So I'm going to open my Facebook. And I'm going to find the content from Near Life that I want to use. So you can see it comes up straight away on my home page. But I want to put something quite specific. So I'm going to go to my pages. I'm just going to view as a visitor. Okay, so remember we spoke about this is the new opportunity video, which I can show you how to download, but I'm just going to find a piece of content that I like. So if this is the content, we've got one of the distributors that have used our product, so it shows it's a young guy, he's healthy, he looks like he's enjoying it. If this is the image that I want to share on LinkedIn, you can copy this image, and then you can copy this text from our page. So you select it all and you copy it. Then on LinkedIn, you're going to start a post. So I'm going to paste in what I copied from Facebook, and then always, always, always add in your replicated site. So before posting, you can go to the bottom and you're going to put in www.shopneolife.com/. Remember, I don't have a website, so I'm just making that up. And then it's giving me a generated image. You can just click the cross on the side, and then you can add your own picture. So I need to save that picture, so I'll show you how to do that, but this is just the logo that I have on my desktop. I'm happy with what that looks like. It's giving me a preview. So this is how you can cross-post content from Facebook or Instagram or Twitter onto LinkedIn. Neolife as a company, we don't have a LinkedIn page. So if you want to share the information and the marketing material that we are sharing from Facebook, you have to open Facebook, find the post that you like, copy it. So you're going to select all the information and then paste it over onto LinkedIn. So if I wanted to take this picture, it's different on all computers, but you can save the image as, and then I can just save it as picture 1. Then when I go to LinkedIn here, I can delete that. Then I can see I've saved picture 1. I'm happy with what that looks like. So it's going to have the copy that we put in here. So it's got the benefits, it's all the right information. So you don't need to worry about if it's saying anything that you're not allowed to say. And then you're going to put in your replicated site. And remember, you can add in here, find out more, or buy yours today, or just put your website here. Then you're going to have your picture, and then you're going to click post. And there you go. So it's on your profile. And then remember, it's the same theory like Facebook. So all of my connections on LinkedIn will now see this post. So the same thing like that happened to me when I came to this homepage here. I'm following this consulting page. So anything that they post comes up on my homepage, on my feed naturally. So the same thing, if I post something, all my connections will see the post that I posted on my feed. So that's how to post information from Facebook onto your LinkedIn. And remember, it's up to you how often you want to post. You can try in the beginning, post every morning. So if you see on Facebook, it's much easier because you can just share it to your page. Here, it's a little bit harder. You have to save the picture and then copy the information and paste it over to LinkedIn. Or if you're on your phone, you can either save the image or you can take a picture, a screenshot of it, and then post it on. But you want to obviously stay up to date. I think do a combination of product information and business opportunity information. So here I can see that it was posted, everything looks good. It changes the link, but this link won't work because I don't have a Shop Near Life again. So it's pulling me through here to the normal Shop Near Life page, but it will pull through directly to your replicated site once you put it in here. Any questions on this so far? I'm going to stop sharing for a minute to see if there are any questions. We fine? Okay, great. So I'm going to go back to my PowerPoint. We nearly finished with LinkedIn. So the next thing that they say is to join groups. So how do we join a group? Let's go to LinkedIn. So same theory as we did with searching for a specific interest. So if we want to know if there are health or nutrition groups in South Africa, I'm going to put into the searcher nutrition. And then when you search, can you see it gives you the option either nutrition in jobs, nutrition in people, or nutrition in groups. So for this purpose, we're looking to join groups. So I've clicked groups. Now it's giving me groups for people all over the world. So for me, this is quite an interesting one. If we were looking at the teachers earlier and now it's speaking about school nutrition. So let's say we're interested in the school nutrition. So we want to know a little bit about this group. So you're going to read up and you want to see if it is really relevant to you. For me, I would only join groups that are based in your country. So it doesn't have to be your city, but at least your country or where you have businesses. So if you're based in South Africa, but you have teams in East Africa, then you can definitely join ones in East Africa. But this one doesn't say. So what I would do, oh yeah, so this is I'm gonna just go back and I just want to type in here, South Africa. Okay, so can you see here? So in the name, I would put the industry that you're looking for groups and the country. So I can see here that I am in group still. So it's got groups at the top. Then I've put in nutrition South Africa, and then you can find the ones that are relevant for you. So this school nutrition one was for South Africa. So you click the group, and then you're going to have to request to join. So you just click request, and then your request gets sent. Sometimes these groups ask you for a reason why you should join. And then you can just type in a little bit about yourself. But once you've joined a group, you actually have the right to post on that group and to reach all these 15,000 members. So again, when you're posting on the group and you're doing these 15,000 members, I wouldn't do a hard sell. So I wouldn't go guns blazing speaking about Neolife. Maybe you can tell a little bit about yourself if you were a teacher again, or you can say, you can just speak about how you know that there's great nutrition products that are available for kids, or during this time, how important it is to keep up your immune system. And at the bottom, you can just say, contact me to find out more. So just try keeping it quite broad. I wouldn't go on here and say, join Neolife, it will change your life today. That to me just seems a little bit like this isn't the right place to do that. So groups are a great way to reach a lot of people in the same industry at once. So these are people that are all interested in school nutrition. So it could be parents, it could be teachers, it could be principals. It could also be people that are in our competitors that have joined this. So I think, you know, when you're writing and posting, just try to keep it quite authentic. You can add a picture of yourself, a picture of you and your family, if you've got kids, if you've gone to schools, or a picture of like Liquivite, those kinds of things, just to kind of tie it all together. So once you've joined a group and they've accepted it, you never need to join them again. And then if you've joined a group, on your homepage, any information that people post onto this group will come up on your homepage as well. So it's like almost like you've started following this page. So once you've joined it, you don't need to join it again, and you have the right to write on this group. But in the same breath, I wouldn't abuse it, because there's a lot of people on this group, for example, and you want to make sure what you're posting is relevant. The members of this group, if there's an author, they still have to approve that information. So it doesn't just get posted and accepted on the group automatically. So that's why I would almost take a step back and make sure what we're posting on here is relevant to this group, and it's not going to be blocked, and you don't want to. So I think just it's definitely a great avenue, but we need to be careful of what we're posting on the groups. Any questions with this? Okay, great. So we nearly finished the LinkedIn, and then we can just open it up for questions. Then it speaks about groups. Use LinkedIn to celebrate the accomplishments of others. So I'm not sure of those who've used LinkedIn, but basically it gives you reminders of people when it's their birthday. So if I go into my notifications, it will say here that it's Gavin's birthday, or that someone has been at their company. So this person, Tumisang, has started a new position. So it gives you the opportunity to congratulate them or say happy birthday. And it makes it very easy for you, because you can literally just click here, say congrats, and it types it out for you, congrats on your work anniversary, and you can click send. So LinkedIn basically makes it very easy for you to stay connected with people, to have that connection. Yeah, so it's like, you know, they almost say with Facebook and everything these days, it's impossible to not know it's someone's birthday, because you get reminded all the time on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, that it's their birthday. So use LinkedIn to celebrate the accomplishments of others. So I think both with work, if they've started a new job, or if you want to wish them happy birthday, or it says here, when you come across a news story or post that offers good news about your client or prospect, you can share it, you can make a status update. So I think for me, more celebrating, just go to your notifications. It will tell you whose birthday it is, have they moved jobs, have they got a new skill or endorsement. It tells you all of that. And all you have to do is click the block and it will write it out for you. It makes it very easy. And then the last thing, which I find interesting, it says here, stop. The key to success on LinkedIn is investing a little bit of time every working day, not 6 hours a day for a week straight, then nothing. And then also in the same breath, I feel like with the stop is not to go onto LinkedIn and click connect with millions of people. I think it's important to do it slowly, to make sure that you actually have some sort of connection or similar to those people in a way, whether it's industry or a mutual friend, or you can see they know someone you know. We don't want to seem like we're spamming these people. There needs to be a reason why you chose to connect with them. If they come back to you and say, how do I know you? Or where did you get my details kind of from? We want to be able to say, listen, I used to be a teacher, or I'm an engineer, and I think this would be relevant. Do you have 5 minutes of your time that I can call you or send you some more information, or if you'd like to visit my website? So I think it's important not to go guns blazing with LinkedIn, because it's easy to do that when you see all those names and we want to think those are all prospect customers. Just to keep in mind to stop, and then obviously always follow up and keep it up. So, you know, if you do 5 minutes with the industries connecting, you can join 3 groups a week or 5 groups a week. It's up to you. And then you can wait to see if they accept you. And then you can also look at people who LinkedIn recommend. I think that's a great place to start. Any questions for LinkedIn before we move over to the Google Keyword Planner?
Yes, Bianca, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know the steps that you've been giving us. Where did you get them? In case I want to go over them and redo it.
So I'm recording this session, but I'm happy to, I'll share my, I'll send Brandon my PowerPoint presentation and he can share it with you all, because I don't have everyone's details. But I will get it to him so you can follow it through.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, let me just make a note so I don't forget. Okay, let me just see, there's something. Okay, great. So I'm going to move on to Google Keyword Planner, and then I'm not going to go into heavy detail with that, because I'm not sure how many people here are looking to do that, but it has been a question, so I'm happy to cover it. And then I'd like to keep the last 5 minutes to see if there are any questions, or if anyone has any feedback from the Facebook stuff that we spoke about last week, or any questions or anything. So, but again, just stop me if we're going too fast. Okay, so that's LinkedIn. We've covered basically everything. Okay, so I think when we chat next, I'd love to hear some stories of people who've tried some of these things on LinkedIn, even if it's just one connection. I think, you know, you must remember it's a free platform. What we always say about these social media tools, it's not to replace your business building by any means. So I always say to people, make your coffee or your tea in the morning, do your social media stuff, and then carry on your day as if you were going to find your prospects your normal way. It's not to replace anything. So in the morning, when you're having your tea or your coffee, your near life tea, you boil your kettle, you open your LinkedIn, you connect with 5 people, how we've said it, you join 2 groups, you post one update from a post that we've used on Facebook, you close your computer, you have your tea, and you carry on your day. That's why I think it's important here, even with LinkedIn, where it says to stop. You don't need to spend 6 hours a day on LinkedIn. In the beginning, it will take you a little bit longer because this is all new. So if you haven't set up a profile, for example, you'll need to set up a profile. Or if you're not familiar with searching, it might take you a little bit more time to search for something. But the second or third or fourth time you do it, it will literally turn out to be a 5 to 10 minute thing in the morning. And then as the weeks go on, it will be 5 minutes of finding new people, 5 minutes of following up, which is where we want to be, which is great. So if people are replying to your messages or connecting with you and saying, thank you so much, sounds great, then you can start the ball. You can start having those conversations. So in the beginning, it's mostly prospecting, but long term, we want it to be 50% prospecting, 50% following up, and having that communication with people who are actually interested. All right, so now we're going to speak about Google keyword. So basically what this is, for those that weren't on the call last week, if you Google, we can actually do the exercise again because I found it quite interesting. I'm going to open my Google. I'm looking for chairs in Johannesburg. Okay, and then Pascal gave the example of at-home businesses or part-time businesses. So obviously we'll relate everything back to near life, but just to show you, so if you are searching for something on Google, chairs in Johannesburg, these websites that have the word ad in front of it, they've paid for the term chairs in Johannesburg. So last week we spoke about finding the terms that you would want to use for your business, but Google actually helps you do that. So I'll show you how to do that. But just say we were looking for part-time jobs in Johannesburg. Okay, there's no paid ads. So that's great, because that means that we're actually not going to compete with anyone for that term. So we'll go through that again, but obviously, if you are looking for people who are only wanting to do near life part-time and they're based in Johannesburg, you would pay for this term, and then your replicated site would pop up at the top. So this person here, this cafe chair bar, this replica, they've paid the most because they're at the top. And if I'm looking for chairs in Johannesburg, most likely I'm going to click the first link, which would take me to the website. So this is where you want to be. You want to be at the top, and you want to have the right search terms that people are going to search in here to get them to your website. So this takes us to Google Keyword Planner. So if you literally Google the words Google Keyword Planner, it will take you to this website. So I will show you afterwards, but I'm just going to take you through this. So Google will actually guide you it says here, get ideas. So if they've put here summer apparel, you click get ideas, and then it gives you words that they think you should pay for towards summer apparel. So you could go in there and you can type in part-time business or teachers wanting more income, Johannesburg. So it just depends how you gearing your business. It's actually endless, but I would choose the things that it's kind of what you're hearing in the field. People, financial stress, those kinds of, it's completely up to you. So once you have those ideas, it will give you the keywords that they think you should use. All right, then it says here how Keyword Planner works. So it will give you the suggested keywords, and then you can add those. So it's actually unlimited. It's just all budget dependent. So Google Keyword Planner is paid for, and the more terms or words you use, the more expensive it's going to be. So, and also this isn't limited. So you can say clothing store in Sandton, clothing store Johannesburg, clothing store sale Johannesburg. So it's completely up to you. So it says here, our keyword research tool gives you insight into how often certain keywords are searched for and how those searches have changed over time. So retail clothing, it gets between 4 and 8 million searches. I think it's a month here. So the more common the term, the more expensive it's going to be. So that's why I would say to try be as specific as possible. I would always put a city, because we also don't want to compete with things in America. You know, we only want to reach people that are in your close proximity. So this can help you narrow your key list down to the ones you really want. Get bid estimates. So this is what we spoke about earlier. Keyword Planner will give you suggested bid estimates for each keyword, so you can determine your advertising budget. So this clothing store, it's going to cost me R1.72. So what does that actually mean, the R1.72? When someone clicks, if they search clothing store and my website pops up and someone clicks on it, it's going to charge me R1.72. So that's what it means. So you don't get charged every single day R1. Only, they call it, you pay per click. So only when someone clicks your website, so they have to search your keyword that you've paid for, then your website pops up at the top, you click it, then you will pay R1.72. So if we go back to the chairs example, so Mad Chair Company has paid for the keyword chairs in Johannesburg. Now, if I click this, now they're going to pay however much that bid estimate was. So the R1.72, for example, Mad Chair Company is now going to pay the R1.72 because someone has clicked their company with their paid keyword that they use. So in Google's mind, it's a success. So their keyword led to someone coming to the company, whether you buy anything on their website or not. The fact that you've clicked their website, Mad Chair Company is now going to pay. Okay. So we'll do a run through on Google keyword, but that's how the bid works. And it's interesting for you to see before you run your campaign, if there's lots of people bidding for the same thing, it will be more expensive. If you are the only person bidding for it, it could be 10 cents, 50 cents. So it depends on how popular the keywords are. Then it says here, make your plan. Once you've found the keywords you like, you can add them to your advertising plan. Save your plan for future reference or share your business with your business team. When you're ready, you can finalize and launch your campaign. So you can have different keywords at different, they call it competitions. So if you want to strongly bid against part-time business in Johannesburg, that's your main focus, you can do medium to high. If you just out of an interest sake want to test financial stress Johannesburg, you can put that as low. So you'll still get ads, your website will still pop up at the top, and you'll still pay if someone search financial stress Johannesburg, but you just kind of telling Google, listen, this is my priority and this is secondary. So it's good for them to know, okay, you can put in 10 different keywords, but these are the top 3 that I want to bid most strongly against. These are my mediums and these are my lows. Then you're going to type in Google again, Google Ads, and you can create a new Google account. So this is where I ended because we can go through this live and then I'll show you everything. But it's very easy. I think once everyone knows their keywords or they want to test even one keyword, you know, I think we don't have to go with 10 keywords right from the beginning. I would do 1 or 2 keywords, test it out, see, and then we can always come back. The thing is with Google Ads, it's nice. You can always edit and try again. So you can test words. Oh, no one's like searching for those words. Let me go back and try something again. And then before Google takes your money, it says here, what's your main advertising goal? So do you want to get more calls, which might be, you might want people to call you directly. Do you want people to go to your website? So that would be your replicated site where they can see what Neolife's about, the SAB, the products, our story, all of that. Then you're going to take them here or get more visits to your physical location, which I think is pretty irrelevant for us because unless you have a physical store, we wouldn't want people to come to your physical location. So what I'm going to do, I went and I started the Google account. So I'm going to start from the top, Google Ads. So I think people can see where you even start if you want to do this. So you can see here, it's interesting, Google Ads is paying Google to have the term Google Ads, so they're at the top. So if I click this one, that means they're going to pay that fee because someone's clicked their link. So let's click it, make Google pay for once. And then it gives you, so you come read through this because this is where I got all those screenshots from. So you're literally going to type in Google Ads and it will show you all of this. So it says here, grow your business with Google Ads. So again, what are your keywords? Then it's showing get in front of customers when they're searching for businesses like yours on Google search and maps. Only pay for results like clicks to your website or calls to your business. So remember that means you're not going to pay unless someone clicks the website. That's called pay per click or PPC, as people say. So you're not paying that fee every single day unless people are clicking it every single day. And then I would just come through here, read all of this, saying show up when people search for what you offer. So if you have like a salon, if they're doing a special, you can edit this. The thing with Google is nice because you can edit and it becomes live straight away. For us, I don't think that we would really need that. Now it's saying get the results. So do you want to drive website visits, get more phone calls, increase store visits, what we spoke about before. You set a budget that works for your business. So you can set a monthly budget. And then you're just going to try it out again with this. I wouldn't do a hefty budget from the beginning. I would try something small, see if it works. You can try something like 500 Rand for the month, see if it works. And if you see a return on your investment, then put in more money. I really don't advise putting in massive amounts from the beginning because we're not sure if it's going to work. Then you're going to come to this website and you're going to click start now. So I've already got a Gmail account. It will log you in automatically if you have a Gmail. If not, you can just create an account. Okay, then it says here, what business do you want to advertise? It's linked me to my Neolife already. So if not, you're just going to click you can say new business. And remember, you can either call it, if your business name is Healthy Products, or if it's your name, it's up to you, your business. So I'm going to click Neolife. And then this is where you start specifying what you want to do. So you can do a geo if you want to only specify in a specific region, or if you want to try to do a broad reach from the beginning, if you want to do South Africa. Let's see if we type in, I think it has to give you, so it says advertise in specific postcodes, cities, or regions. So it's giving me all of these areas because it's obviously picking up my location. So you can remove some things if you want to only do Johannesburg. And then it takes you straight to your keyword themes. Sorry, so it's giving me these suggested images, these suggested themes, sorry. You can add them, you can remove these. This is where I would spend your most time. So to figure out what it is, who it is that you're trying to attract, and what keywords you think are going to attract the right people. So for me, like a sports nutritionist, I don't think would be relevant. Dietitians, yes, we have those people in our business, but that's not the type of ads we're trying to run with this campaign. If you're looking for people specifically looking for part-time work, or maybe you do the search term side hustle, or full-time work plus side income, those kinds of things you can do. And then I'm just gonna add this so we can move forward. So I've just said nutritionist, next. Then it's going to ask you to write your ad preview. So if this is something that you don't know how to do, you can open a Google page and just see how other people have done it. So like we saw chairs in Johannesburg, you can see, and as you're typing, it puts it in here. So you can see what it looks like live. So it's putting it in headline 1, headline 2, headline 3. We can just put that there. Then your description, so you can put in your, if you want to put in a little bit about the Near Life business or the website, it's up to you. So it's nice to see as you're typing along what it's going to look like. And again, this is trial and error. So you can come put this in, run a campaign, and you can be like, let me try swap things around. I don't think it's working as well. Or if it is working, you can obviously leave it. You can write 2 or 3 ads and run your campaign, but you obviously need at least one campaign. Oh, you have to just put in descriptions. So I'm just going to put in there. So you can see it comes out next to each other. So you can say here, ending the trend of financial stress, or grow your income while working full time. I have to just start here. Grow income. And then last but not least, it's going to ask you to set your budget, and you're going to have to add in your credit card details. So it's telling you your daily average will be 72 Rand, which you'll be billed monthly. This is completely up to you. There's no, you can enter your own budget. They've given you these options, but you can enter your own budget. And you just test this out. You can stop as it's going. Again, I would do much smaller than this, but it's up to you if you have the money to try a new campaign. And then we can go next. Then it's going to give you the option to review your whole campaign. So it gives you a summary, which is quite nice. It will tell you your goal, your location, your ad. So if you're not happy, you can go back, what my keywords are that I'm trying to do. And then if I push next, it's going to ask me to set up my billing, to put in a card. So I'm just going to stop sharing for now. I don't want to over confuse people. I think keywords is it's a nice thing to have, but for me on the priority list, it would be at the end. I think once you've got Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn right, the free side, then I would move on to keywords. To be honest, we don't have a lot of distributors that are doing this, so I'm open to anyone trying it out. But I think my advice would be to get the other platforms right before we move on to Google keywords. Are there any questions for anything that we've gone through today? Doesn't have to be about keyword or LinkedIn or Facebook, anything. Are we good?
Yeah, I think, Bianca, I'm good so far. I'll just try what we've learned, and I'll give you a feedback.
Great, thanks, Pascal. And I think, it is overwhelming. I think if we can try one new thing a week, that's great. Even if it's just, for example, setting up a LinkedIn profile, if that's the goal for the week, that's great. I don't expect anyone to kind of do it all and master it. I think one new thing a week is a good goal to have. But again, I'll share this video, we'll share the PowerPoint so people can come back to it. And I think as leaders, it's also nice to try these things and then to teach your teams if you've learned anything, or if you have any successes from it, to share that. So yeah, I think start with one thing, otherwise it is overwhelming.
Okay.
Okay, great. Thanks everyone. Have a good weekend, and just let me know if you have any questions.
All right. Thanks, Bianca.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.